Jai Hind, this is Brigadier Hemant Mahajan. We will cover some important events that took place in and around India which has an effect on India's national security. The first most important event is Operation Samudragupta. This is an operation carried out by the Indian Navy along with the Narcotics Control Board, in which 3,500 kilograms of narcotics was seized. It was one of the most successful operations ever done, and it can tell you as to how much of narcotics would have been pumped into this country if we had not caught this mothership which was supplying narcotics. This was based on actionable intelligence, but therefore we need to complement the Indian Navy as well as the Narcotics Control Board. The second important issue is China is not permitting the various companies to lay OFC cables in the South China Sea through which the internet traffic passes, saying that the whole sea belongs to them. This means much higher cost of laying cables, and China is going against the rules of the world. Next is Hong Kong libraries have been told to remove all the books which talk about Tiananmen Square, Tiananmen Square protest ahead of the anniversary which is coming in a short while. The next is Germany has told China to shut down all secret police stations that are there in Germany. Two Chinese policemen were caught. China claims that this was basically to assist their own people. The Chinese officers have been talking about that their military should prepare for a hybrid war because the whole world is against them. The U.S. religious freedom movement has accused China of jailing 10,000 people during their repression campaign. The USA is ready for a Chinese hypersonic missile attack on Taiwan, basically Guam, which is a small island of Taiwan. Philippines has placed buoys in their part of South China Sea to show as to which is their boundary. Remember that the Philippines and China are fighting over the maritime boundaries, and the International Court of Justice had basically granted these boundaries to the Philippines. Next issue is Chinese workers who were working in the gold mines of Central Africa. They have been targeted and a number of them have been killed. The next issue pertains to American citizen who has been given a life imprisonment by the Chinese for carrying out espionage activity in China. The next issue pertains to Taiwan. Taiwan has been saying that a large number of Chinese military aircraft and naval ships have been intruding into the airspace of Taiwan as well as getting into their maritime boundaries. The world keeps on complaining, but China blatantly carries out this transgression into Taiwan airspace as well as Taiwan sea space. Chinese warships are carrying out military drills in Western Pacific to show as to how good they are. Then the next issue is that the quadrilateral cooperation meeting which was to take place in Japan, Hiroshima, the President of USA, Mr. Joe Biden, has decided not to attend it because USA economy faces large amount of weaknesses, and because of USA's internal problem, they are not able to attend the meeting. So Joe Biden's aim of creating a strategic trade alliance as a counterweight to China has consistently struggled against the domestic challenges which the democratic country faces. And this is the bad news as far as quadrilateral cooperation and anti-China alliances are concerned. The protests in Pakistan continue, and the biggest effect is on China because China's Pakistan economic corridor is completely in ruins, as is the Pakistan economy. Tawahur Rana, who was one of the culprits of the 26/11 attack in Mumbai many years back, will most probably be extradited to India in a short while. Next issue pertains to Pakistan. A bad news for Pakistan's economy. The Pakistanis who are working overseas send what is called as the remittances to their families back. But these are dropping over a period of time because most of them are sending it by Hawala, by Hundi channels, and everybody wants to send it by unofficial channel because they don't want to pay tax on it. That's a very bad news as far as Pakistan is concerned. There are 740 fishermen in the Indian and Pakistani jails. We have to ensure that the Indian fishermen which are in Karachi jail are freed because Pakistan tries to convert them to their terrorism cause. The National Investigation Agency has been active and they have put another supplementary charge sheet against the terror operatives of the LET. The J&K High Court has passed a judgment that Village Defence Guard scheme, which was started in 2022, is valid. Left-wing extremism, two hardcore Naxals surrendered in front of the police. India's defense minister says that India is going to be a completely developed country by 2047. As far as it was said some time back that Indian Army will be withdrawn from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, but that that plan has been put on hold simply because Pakistan is making an effort to reignite terrorism south of Pir Panjal, as was seen by attacks in Rajouri and Puj. As far as Assam Rifles and Army is concerned, they are involved in a big way as far as maintaining peace in Manipur is concerned. One of the Jawans of Assam Rifle who was attacked by the insurgents has succumbed to his injury. We must pay tribute to this brave Jawan and the army and the Assam Rifles as on today have evacuated more than 40,000 people to the safer places, saving them from various riots that were taking place in the state. The next issue is Atmanirbhar Bharat. As far as the defense production is concerned, there was a news that we have achieved a major landmark in which 1 billion crores of rupees of defense equipment was manufactured in this country and a large amount of it was exported. General Manoj Pandey is on a 5-day trip to Egypt in which he will try and improve relations between Egypt and India still better. Now, next issue is the Defense Ministry says as far as IDEX is concerned, it has reached another milestone because 258th contract has been signed with the IDEX. This is a great success as far as India is concerned. And last 2 points with regard to Russia and Ukraine war. Wagner chief, Wagner is basically a private military contractor, and he along with Russian army is fighting in Ukraine. He has been very critical of the Russian army, whom he says that their front is collapsing, the Ukrainians have captured number of positions and the Russian troops are going back. Now this kind of an infighting between a private military contractor, Russian generals and Russian army is not a very good thing as far as Russia is concerned. And the last point is that Russia said it fired hypersonic missiles at Ukraine. Some of them were not very effective, so they feel that the scientists who had manufactured them have not done their job properly. So this is what is the important events that took place around our country which had an effect on India's national security. I'll stop here. Jai Hind.